Milton Mockerman, this is your life. It all began long, long ago, before you were a glimmer in anyone's eye. Of course, there were many generations before you, but your story is a great one. Milo Mockerman married Pearl Eveland, your mother, in 1924, and they had two children, your brother, Marvin. Then, 2 years later, you, Milton Mockerman. You were born and raised at a family farm in Sharon, Michigan, near the Manistee River. Your father worked in the logging industry, which is probably what brought your forefathers to Michigan 2 generations before Milo. Milo would then get a contract with the post office to carry mail in Kalkaska County. Your mother took over the mail route once he became too sick to perform his duties. Times were tough as the Great Depression set in across the country, but the farm gave your family everything you needed, and your parents worked hard to supplement the rest. In a time when most people couldn't afford to put gas in their cars, your father delivered groceries and other supplies to families across Kalkaska County while on his mail route. Milo was a patient and gentle father, a trait you certainly inherited. And Pearl was a caring homemaker. You were a good student in school and graduated from public schools with a diploma. You thoroughly enjoyed all that country life had to offer a kid in Western Michigan. As a teenager, you would read in newspapers and listen to radio reports of the events leading to the Second World War, as Germany invaded most of Europe and Japan declared war on America. The onset of World War II would soon find your brother joining the Navy, and you would soon follow, saying that you were a year older than you were to enlist and serve your country in a time of need. You would find your home aboard the USS Springfield, a ship that held perhaps as many people as all of Kalkaska County. On February 27, 1945, Commander Southwick entered into his log that your ship had crossed the international date line heading west, and you were thus initiated as a trusty dragonback, having crossed the 180th meridian. Between March 11, 1945 and August 15, 1945, the Springfield participated in more than 20 battles along the Japanese islands and Okinawa. The Springfield was also the third ship into Tokyo Bay following the surrender of Imperial Japan. You received a plank owner certificate for serving as part of the first crew aboard the USS Springfield. At the spry young age of 16, you were thrust into adulthood by events that were a world away from the sleepy little community you grew up in. You made some new friends, saw parts of the world you didn't know existed, and enjoyed every minute of it. The war was won, Americans were safe, and you were honorably discharged from active duty on May 21, 1946. But having returned home to Kalkaska after the war, things were a bit different than when you had left. So you decided maybe California was the place for you to be. On your way out of town, your uncle convinced you to stop in Muskegon for a few months and think it over. Well, wouldn't you know it, you met a girl, Beverly Homan, and fell in love. You definitely weren't going to California then. Before you knew it, two crazy kids named Milt and Bev were married and starting a family of their own. Things weren't always peaches and cream at first, but you had each other and were making a go at it. After working at several jobs the first few years, you found your second passion with the railroad. This was a job you loved for 32 years. You met many friends while at the railroad, most of them lasting a lifetime. Working with the railroad was something you really enjoyed doing. and it afforded you the ability to buy your first house and even a new Studebaker. While you were busy carving out a quiet life for yourselves in Muskegon, the blessings started coming your way. Before you could blink an eye, you had 4 kids of your own. Then, those kids grew up quickly, got married, and had kids of their own. Most of those kids had kids of their own, and even those kids are growing up and have kids of their own. Your great-great-grandkids. Many cars and houses would come and go, but your first true love lasted a wonderful 55 years. A truly amazing feat in today's world. The two of you created an amazing home for your children, one that encouraged them to stay close to you after they were grown, and for their children to want to visit often. Holidays and birthdays were all done at your home, with warmth and happiness from you both. Through the years, you grew up in the backwoods of Michigan during the Great Depression. You joined the Navy to protect your country in World War II and came home to Michigan to serve the railroad for 32 years at a job that you loved, something that very few of us are fortunate enough to find. You married a great woman and had wonderful children and gave them all a great home. You have seen those children all be married and have their own children. You've seen most of those grandchildren be married and have their own children. And you even have great-great-grandchildren to enjoy. Along the way, you've had to bury a great-grandson and a daughter before their time. You've lost 2 wives, one, the mother of your children, for 55 wonderful years. The second, a lifelong friend that gave you compassion and companionship when you needed it most. You were compassionate enough to return the favor when her final days were not so kind to her. You have lost most of your longtime friends to, well, time indeed. You are one of only 2 left in your generation, and previous generations have long ago passed. Yet, you hold your head high and keep living a full life, a life that you admit has been good to you and that you have enjoyed thoroughly since you were just a little guy stomping mud on a West Michigan farm in the 1930s. Life has been good to you because you have certainly been good to life. As you are surrounded by your family, it is because you held them together all these years. You have given them all something strong to hold on to. Their family values and warm hearts are all due to the example you have been to them all, and because of the man that you are. You have been here nearly 90 years now, and made some wonderful memories along the way. It's no secret that your end time is coming soon. But don't you be in a hurry to get there too fast now, because some of us are still making memories with you. Hello, Grandfather. I hope you enjoyed that trip down memory lane as much as I enjoyed making it. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for always answering the phone when I just needed to hear your voice. Thank you for welcoming me into your home when I was lost as a youth. Thank you for teaching me how to forgive myself for my mistakes and realizing that the ones I love will soon forget and forgive and love me for the man I am. Our relationship has always been a simple one. We've never asked each other for anything but honesty and good conversation. and we got just that. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Once again, thank you. Thank you for being the best friend I could ever wish for. You are truly the greatest man I have ever known. I speak for the entire family when I say we love you and thank you for the memories.